It is Y105, number one for all the hits. I'm Steve Pulaski. My next guest has been entertaining horror fans around the globe for over 20 years. His new movie, Thanksgiving, revolves around a town that is a year removed from a deadly Black Friday stampede when a killer begins terrorizing that small city. It's now available to own on DVD and digital, and the man behind it is Eli Roth. He joins us now. Eli, how are you?
I'm good. Very good. Glad to be here.
It's great to talk to you. This project originated as a fake trailer for Grindhouse back in 2007. The real ones remember seeing that between Planet Terror and Death Proof. How surreal is it that Thanksgiving is finally a feature-length movie, Eli?
Well, it's more surreal than that, considering that the original idea actually was my co-writer Jeff Rendell and I. We grew up in Massachusetts, so when we were kids, we were like 12 years old. Massachusetts, Thanksgiving was a huge deal. There were school plays and field trips to recreation villages where the Pilgrims lived, and there was no horror movie. So our whole dream was like, why has nobody made a Thanksgiving-themed horror movie when every other holiday, from Halloween, Silent Night, Deadly Night, My Bloody Valentine, April Fool's Day, everything was done. So to not just have it done, but to have it be something that people love so much that they want to do a second one is pretty wild. It's like you've satisfied that dream that you had from when you were 12 years old. It's pretty great.
You said the magic words right there. Second one, Eli. I know you're already hard at work on a sequel. Can you tease anything? What can we expect?
Well, right now, it's like you got all the ingredients, and they're going in the oven of my brain. We're writing it. The great thing is that Sony says take a year to figure it out. Like, don't rush. Instead of rushing it to have it done for Halloween this year, they're like, let's take a year off so you can really write a good script and make sure that the sequel doesn't suck. So we're doing it'll be out for 2024. But right now, we're just thinking of all the ideas. I have a really terrific opening that I'm happy with. I have the general shape of it, so we're just kind of working through the mechanics of it. But again, it's all about the kills. You got to have great kills and great story twists and fun characters. Those are the main ingredients for me. So it's just like a choose your own adventure book. You're like, oh, no, you died. Okay, no, you're just sort of driving blind until you figure it out. And that's part of the fun of writing.
He is Eli Roth. Again, Thanksgiving now on DVD and digital. Just wrapped up even too, getting a re-release in theaters for some late night shows. I know the audience appreciated that too. I'm going to pivot here, Eli. I'll ask you kind of a curveball right here. What's it like working with Zac Bagans on The Haunted Museum? Been seeing you on that show. Love when you pop up. What's it like working with Zac?
Well, Zac's been awesome. I mean, he really opened up his collection to us. He kind of came to me going, how do I turn these into really scary stories? So we did 2 seasons. They're all on Max and Discovery Plus now, and the episodes are so scary. And one of the directors of Haunted Museum, Justin Harding, shot second unit for me and worked with me on Thanksgiving. So I had a great experience working with Zac. I mean, he's really, I really respect him and what he does, and he really respects me and what I do. And, there was never a disagreement. We're always good, oh, let's do this, let's do that. We're both, super excited to make the show great. And both of us, I think, are really, really, really proud of how the show turned out. The episodes people are saying it's one of the scariest anthology shows they've ever seen. So, we had a great time.
From Cabin Fever to Hostel, you got so many movies under your belt, Eli. One of my favorites of yours, though, is The Green Inferno. Saw it in theaters, absolutely loved it. The cast, the setting,
awesome.
That slow burn tension, it's all fantastic. I really love that movie. Do you think you'll ever revisit that universe or make another cannibal movie? Do you think that there's still more to be done with that?
There was. I mean, I love it. And I had written a sequel called Beyond the Green Inferno. But, part of the fun of making that movie is we went into the Amazon farther than anyone had ever taken a film crew before. And, this was in 2012, and we just knew that everyone was signing up for an adventure. Like, you see us in this, this was a village they'd never seen television before, cameras, they had no electricity. But as we were leaving, you could see that the electrical poles had finally reached the village. So and there was one road to get in and out of that village, and right after we left, there was a rock slide, and the road was closed for 6 months. I mean, we were in the middle of nowhere shooting that movie. So I would love to go back there. I had an amazing time doing it. I don't know if you could get people to go, though, because nobody wants to be cut off. I mean, it wasn't just cut off from the internet. You can actually get stuck there. There's no way out. If you get on the road, that road shuts down. And that's what's part of the deal of shooting in Peru by the Amazon is they have these roads that if there's a rock slide, that's it. You're there for 3 months until someone clears the road. So I'd have to it'd be a little bit trickier to convince people to go back. And I don't know if the village looks the same. If the village is modernized, it probably wouldn't work.
Convincing a film crew to go in there just with that setting and sort of that landscape that you painted too, was that challenging? Obviously, you got to have, anxieties and nerves and everything like that. I guess, how did everybody really come together to, for the greater pursuit of art? How did you really convince them to do that?
Well, we had got a great crew from Chile and Peru, and for them it wasn't such a big deal, like the bugs or and it's also very beautiful. Everyone, filmmakers and people on a film crew, they love a good adventure. Now, convincing a New York City crew to do that, good luck. So we had a really terrific team in Chile, same team that I made Knock Knock with, and they were up for the challenge, and we had a really good Peruvian producer who had done feature films there, and now, after Green Inferno, there were a whole bunch of horror movies that got made in similar locations. Like Puma Rinri, where we stayed, it was this Echo Lodge. Someone shot a horror movie there. So I know that the new generation of Peruvian directors love it. So also horror movies are massive in Peru. So it was the idea of, it wasn't like, we're going to it was just that road was dangerous, but it was actually quite peaceful and beautiful once you were there. And also they're used to living there. So stuff like, I remember there's a flood in the Andes 2 days away. If the river's going to rise, you got to be really careful. The boats could turn over, you guys could die. So the crew, the local people from Peru were like, yeah, we've been in this situation before. The Americans were like, what the hell is this? That one day was actually terrifying. I thought, oh man, I've done it. This is going to be the day that I have that accident that it changes everything. And thank God, someone angel was watching us over us because nothing happened. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a wild experience, and I'm really proud of it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's a different kind of movie. It's more like a weird jungle adventure film. It's an outside-the-box horror film. And that's why I made it. I wanted people to go back and discover all those insane old movies like Cannibal Holocaust and Cannibal Ferox and Mountain of the Cannibal God and Massacre in Dinosaur Valley. A lot of them were considered bottom-of-the-barrel horror films, but if you're a horror nerd like me, you have a soft spot for them. And I just respect what the filmmakers did. Where they went with the camera and the things they did, it's unmatched.
I know just from reading the headlines and things and just, gauging what I have on this, I know it's kind of been a hectic road to production for this, but I'm interested if you can offer any insight and stuff. You've been adapting the popular video game Borderlands into a film, and it's got a great cast, and Cate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black, just to name very few. Can we get a little tease of that movie? I know it's expected later this year.
No tease yet. They've asked me to kind of keep tight lips, but I think, I'm having conversations with them this week, and the movie's coming out in August 9th, so I think the materials will be propping up this spring. Really excited. Looking great.
Fair point. I appreciate that, Eli. He is Eli Roth, again, horror movie director, man behind the long-awaited Thanksgiving movie. I'm going to give you the final word, Eli, to promote Thanksgiving or any other ventures that you got. The floor is yours.
Definitely. Check out Thanksgiving. It's on Blu-ray and DVD and digital. It's so much fun. It's a really great, fun slasher film. And if you have kids and you want to get them, they're something animated and fun and scary, on Hulu and Peacock, I have a show called Fright Crew. That's really terrific. It's like supernatural, kid-solving supernatural mysteries. But it's designed to get kids that are, 8, 9, 10 years old, and to give them something scary that's safe and fun. So for the parents, Thanksgiving; for the kids, Fright Crew.
I appreciate it, Eli. Thanks so much for your time, man. I can't wait to see what's next.